Welcome to my message church.
Welcome to Mini Message Church. Today we're going to make, what's this? A prayer pot.
Prayer pot.
And we're going to make a recycled Easter garden. And also at the end...
I'll have it.
Yeah, you can in a second, darling. And then at the end, I've put on a hot cross scones recipe if you were missing making hot cross buns and can't get hold of any yeast. So we're going to make the prayer pot first. So what you need is a pot. So you could have like a baked bean tin, or this is half of a big bottle of spring water, probably not even half, that's about a third that we cut up there. Oh, lovely drawing. And then you need to cut a strip of paper the right size to go all the way around and then decorate it. That's what Talitha's doing at the moment. And once she's decorated it, I'm going to stick it around the pot. And then the idea is that we're going to write things down that we want to pray for. So when we pray, maybe at bedtime or at dinner time, we can take them out and remember what they are.
I would pray at bedtime or pray at night time.
We do pray at bedtime or lunchtime, don't we? So why have we got sticks? Because we've got some sticks left over from the other day. Or if you want to use a piece of paper, then you can write down things that you want to pray for. So whilst Talitha does that, I'll write some things down that we could pray for. So can you remember what we usually pray for when we go to bed?
Yes.
We pray for all the people who are not very
well.
At the moment we're praying for people who aren't well. So you could write that down. So poorly people. So that's what I've written. I don't know if that's about poorly right. Poorly people, and then you pop it in your prayer pot. And you can write something else then. Let's write something down on a piece of paper. So who else do we pray for? We usually say thank you to God for our friends.
Friends.
So you could write friends on a piece of paper. And if you wanted to be super good, you could decorate these as well. So friends, and you can fold it up if you don't have any lovely sticks and pop it in your prayer pot. And you can fill it up with loads of ideas. So we can say thank you God for sunshine today, because it's very sunny, isn't it?
Yes, it is, Mummy.
Sunshine.
Sunshine.
And we'll pop that in our pot. So the idea is that you keep filling up your pot full of loads of things. Oh, lovely stick on your nose that you want to say thank you to God for. Oh, yeah. And then at night time or at dinner time when you come to pray, you might want to choose 3 of these things, 2 or 3 of these things to pick out. So you could pick out sunshine and you could pick out for poorly people. And in your prayers, you can remember those. You can do as many prayer ideas as you want. So we've got loads of little sticks here. So we could fill them all up with prayer ideas, pop them in, and then give them a good mix. And then at night time, when we come to pray, we can take them out and pray for either people we've written down or situations that we've written down too. So once Talitha's finished decorating this, we'll stick it around here and pop some more prayer suggestions in her prayer pot. For our next craft, we're going to make a milk bottle Easter garden. So what I've got here is a little 2-pint milk bottle that we've cut the end off, and we've filled mainly with paper and a little bit of moss, and we've got a little tomb in there with a door that can open, and inside we've got some cloth where Jesus was, and we've made some twig crosses from twigs that we've got outside. So I'll talk you through how to make that. The second one, oh, that's lovely colouring. I'm going to make a big one. So here we've got a 4-pinter. Again, I've just cut the end off. It's not very sharp if you cut it off with scissors. We filled the end with DFS catalogue.
Oh, I haven't got this. Can I draw?
Not in there. You can draw on this one.
Yeah.
And then what we'll do is using our homemade green paper again, wrap up the last bit of DFS catalogue in there. Stick it in the end of your milk bottle so it's full up so you can't see, and again using our homemade green paper.
Look, I finished.
Oh, it's beautiful. You pop it in the end down here. So what you've got is green and green. Then if you've been lucky enough to get some eggs, if you cut out a bottom of an egg carton,
I'll put it in there.
and then we're going to put it in there. That's right. That's the egg carton there. So we've cut out the bottom of it. I've circle of card, and again we've got some white fabric that we've put in there. You can put anything in there, loo roll or anything white to stick it in. See, so we've stuck the tomb in there just with some sellotape, and you can then open the door. And we've got our bit of cloth.
You can open the door.
No, that's not the door. This is the door. Look here on the tomb. There we go. Open that up. You go and open the door. No, leave it in. It's stuck in.
Okay.
There we go.
Look at this.
Yeah, that's where Jesus was buried. Okay. So can you put the lid back on? And then if you want to grab some sort of leaves and stuff when you're out and about on your walk, then you can do that. We've got some craft moss that we're going to stick in
Now,
down here. So
can
now
I
we've got
take the money?
our tomb and our craft moss, and I've made some more crosses. So just from twigs we found out, the best way I think to stick the crosses on, I'd get some tape and to stick each of them.
Daddy, Mummy, can I get some tape for me?
Yeah, of course I can. To the front of the milk bottle. So there's one cross. Some tape.
I do.
Oh, I've lost my tape now. There's one cross.
And one cross. It's one cross.
There we go. And here.
And it's one cross.
There's the next one.
Oh, what
At the front.
about another cross?
Yeah, and the third one. I'm going to pop it at the front. Here.
We made it now.
We have made it, haven't we? So you can fill it up with what you like from the garden and stones and all sorts of things. But there you go. There's your recycled milk bottle garden. And there it is in the smaller one as well. Your recycled milk bottle garden. We'd love to see it. If you have a picture of it, we'd love to see it. Stay on for a third craft and a story. For our last craft today, we're going to make hot cross scones. If you've got the stuff in the house, I thought some baking would be nice to do. And there's not much yeast around or plain flour, so it's tricky to do normal hot cross buns if that's something you want to do. You usually do on Good Friday. So what I'm going to do is I'll take you through the ingredients and then a quick rundown of like the method, and then I'll try and film it on a slow-mo thing. No, not slow-mo, I don't want to watch it for ages. On a quick video so you can see, otherwise sort of just follow the instructions. So we're going to make scones but just a little bit differently, and then we're going to put a cross on the top. Again, we'd love to see some photos if you make them. You can share it in the comments below or share on, yeah, just so we can see. So what I'll do is I'll take you through what you need, and then hopefully we'll see a sped up making of them, and then I'll show you what they look like at the end. So I'm just going to take you through what ingredients you need. Okay, so this is what we need to make our hot cross scones. So we here have got 225 grams of self-raising flour, and then 75 grams of butter, 40 grams of brown sugar, but any sugar that you've got lying about in the cupboard will do, so just 40 grams of sugar. 75 grams of these are raisins, but if you've got sultanas or dried cranberries or any dried fruit, then you can whack those in. 25 grams of chocolate chips. If you don't have chocolate chips, then feel free to cut up chocolate bar or whack some Easter egg in, maybe that you've sneakily started already. Half a teaspoon of mixed spice, 1 egg, 2 tablespoons of milk, plus a little bit more for brushing on the top. And then to make the crosses, what I've done is I've combined 25 grams of plain flour and 1 tablespoon of water, and that's made a dough that I'll roll out and cut out the crosses so we can stick those on top of the scones when they're done. You'll need a scone cutter, or any cutter really, and you need to do it in big heart cookie cutter because I couldn't find this one, but then I found it. A rolling pin, and that's it really. You'll need some baking sheets to put the scones on, and I've set our oven to 180 because it's fan and a bit of a killer, or about 200 on a normal oven. So I'll put the instructions up on a photo in after this, but what you need to do is preheat your oven to about 180, 200. You need to put the flour and the butter together in a bowl and rub it like you're making breadcrumbs, and then put in the sugar, sultanas, chocolate chips and mixed spice and give it a good mix together. Then if you crack the egg into the milk and whisk that up, then pour it into the flour mixture and mix it around, and you'll make hopefully a dough, like a really soft dough. Clear off your table then, lay it on the table with a bit of flour and roll it out, and you want it about 2 centimetres thick, that's it. And then you're going to use your cutter and cut out scones. You should hopefully get about sort of 8 to 10 out of this batch. So once you cut them out, pop them on a baking tray. Then if you make the dough to make the crosses, roll that out and cut it into long strips. So that could be really, really thin. So roll it out and cut it into long strips, and then using the spare milk you should have for brushing on top. If you brush the top of the scone, lay one strip down and brush a bit again in the middle, and then lay another one down, so you've got a hot cross bun cross on top of your scones, and then pop them in the oven. So brush then the whole thing with the milk again, pop it in the oven for about 15-20 minutes depending on your oven and how ferocious it is, and that's it. And then pop them out when they're done. If you want to, you can mix a tablespoon of caster sugar and some water together to make a glaze as it comes out, and you want to paint that on top of the scones. You can do that if you want, but don't worry about it if you don't want to. So hopefully in a few seconds we'll see some lovely hot cross scones. And there we go, finished hot cross scones. We'd love to see pictures of them if you manage to do them too. I really hope you enjoyed doing those crafts, and I would love to see pictures if you've got them, especially of your scones. I'd love to see how they turned out. I hope you got enough instruction. If not, then the recipe is actually from the Sainsbury's website, so if you type in hot cross scones there, I'm sure you can find the recipe if you didn't manage to grab it, or go back and pause the video. So I'm going to tell you our story for today. It's all about Good Friday, which is about when Jesus died on the cross. It's from this book here, the Jesus Storybook Bible. So parents, just be aware of what the subject matter is. The sun stops shining. "So you're a king, are you?" the Roman soldiers jeered. "Then you'll need a crown and a robe." They gave Jesus a crown made of thorns and put a purple robe on him and pretended to bow down to him. "Your Majesty," they said. Then they whipped him and they spat on him. They didn't understand that this was the Prince of Life, the King of Heaven who had come to rescue them. The soldiers made him a sign, "Our King," and nailed it to a wooden cross. They walked up a hill outside the city. Jesus carried the cross on his back. Jesus had never done anything wrong, but they were going to kill him the way they killed criminals. They nailed Jesus to the cross. "Father, forgive them," Jesus gasped. "They don't understand what they are doing." "You say you've come to rescue us," people shouted, "but you can't even rescue yourself." But they were wrong. Jesus could have rescued himself. A legion of angels would have flown to his side if he'd called. "If you were really the Son of God, you could just climb down off that cross," they said. And of course they were right. Jesus could have just climbed down. Actually, he could have just said one word and made it all stop. Like when he healed that little girl, and he stilled the storm, and when he fed 5,000 people. But Jesus stayed. You see, they didn't understand. It wasn't the nails that held Jesus there, it was love. "Papa," Jesus cried, frantically searching the sky. "Papa, where are you? Don't leave me." And for the first time, and the last, when he spoke, nothing happened. Just a horrible, endless silence. God didn't answer. Tears rolled down Jesus' face, the face of the one who would wipe away every tear from every eye. Even though it was midday, a dreadful darkness covered the face of the world. The sun could not shine. The earth trembled and quaked. The great mountains shook. Rocks split in two, until it seemed the whole of the world would break, that creation itself would tear apart. The full force of the storm of God's anger at sin was coming down on his own Son instead of his people. It was the only way God could destroy sin and not his children. Then Jesus shouted in a loud voice, "It is finished." And it was. He had done it. Jesus had rescued the whole world. "Father," Jesus cried, "I give you my life." And with a great sigh, he let himself die. Strange clouds and shadows filled the sky, purple, orange, and black. Jesus' friends gently carried Jesus. They laid Jesus in a new tomb carved out of rock. How could Jesus die? What had gone wrong? What did this mean? They didn't know anything anymore, except they did know that their hearts were breaking. "That's the end of Jesus," the leaders said. But just to be sure, they sent strong soldiers to guard the tomb. They hauled a huge stone in front of the door of the tomb, so that no one could get in or out. And that's how the story ends on Good Friday, with Jesus in a tomb. But I wonder if you know what happens by Sunday. You're welcome to join us on Easter Sunday morning when we'll have the next bit of that story. It will be lovely to see you if you were there. So our service is going to go up at 10:15 on the Whiteley Church Facebook page, and you'll be very welcome to join us there. It will be a children-friendly virtual service. So thank you for today. I hope you've enjoyed making your crafts and hearing the story, and we hope to see you again at some point this weekend. Bye.